In the historic shadow of Boomera's castle, where the whispers of centuries cling to the ancient stones, a modern-day treasure hunt was unfolding. The beloved BBC program, Antiques Roadshow, had set up camp, and with it came the hopeful, the curious, and the unknowingly wealthy, each carrying a fragment of the past. Among the hopefuls was a woman, a friend on a mission, bearing two small, unassuming pieces of jewelry. Little did she, or anyone else, know that these items were about to ignite a firestorm of excitement, leaving an expert utterly breathless and an entire crowd in stunned silence. The air, thick with the anticipation that always blankets such events, seemed to crackle with a unique energy as jewelry expert Geoffrey Munn laid his eyes upon the treasures. They were a delicate pendant and a striking aquamarine brooch. But to Munn's trained eye, they were so much more. They were whispers from a lost world, masterpieces born from the legendary hands of Fabergé, the jeweler to the Russian Tsars. His voice, usually a calm and measured river of knowledge, now flowed with the rapids of pure, unadulterated passion. "Well, I'm jolly glad she did," he exclaimed, his eyes dancing with a light that mirrored the glint of the diamonds before him, "because they're very, very exciting things for me." The first piece he examined was the pendant, a marvel of pink enamel so translucent it seemed to hold the blush of a long-ago dawn. At its heart, nestled within a halo of shimmering diamonds, were the intertwined initials of a forgotten owner. The true magic, however, lay beneath the surface. Munn, with the gentle reverence of a historian touching a sacred text, pointed out the guilloche ground, a mesmerizing, machine-turned sunray effect that radiated from behind the initials. It was a technique that was a hallmark of Fabergé's genius, a testament to an era where craftsmanship was an art form and beauty was found in the most intricate of details. Then it's flooded with pink enamel and you can see through the enamel onto the guilloche, which looks like a sunburst behind, he explained, his words painting a picture as vivid as the piece itself. But the pendant held another secret, a whisper from its original owner. Tucked away inside was an inscription in Cyrillic, a poignant and enigmatic message that, when loosely translated, read, "Maybe it's better not to wait." The words hung in the air, a ghost of a love story, a hint of a life lived with a passion and urgency that defied the constraints of time. Who was this person? Who was the intended recipient of this message, this exquisite piece of artistry? The questions, though unanswerable, only added to the pendant's allure. "I think we can possibly assume that this is somebody who could afford to go to Fabergé," Munn mused, his voice filled with a sense of awe. Absolutely the highest level of elite. It was a piece that spoke of a life of opulence, of whispered secrets in grand ballrooms, of a world on the brink of revolution. As the crowd leaned in, captivated by the story unfolding before them, Munn turned his attention to the second piece, the aquamarine brooch. And if the pendant was a whisper, the brooch was a triumphant psalm. A magnificent Siberian aquamarine, the color of a frozen sea, sat enthroned in a nest of brilliant cut diamonds. At its pinnacle, a true lover's knot, also encrusted with diamonds, added a touch of romantic symbolism to the already breathtaking piece. Munn's expert hands turned the brooch over, revealing its hidden depths. "It's a remarkably deep stone," he observed, "and when you turn it up, you can see there's a gallery beneath which is really quite extravagant, quite wide." He explained that this wasn't mere ostentation. It was a masterful technique to enhance the stone's natural beauty. The depth of the aquamarine, a hallmark of its Siberian origin, was what gave it its intense, soul-stirring color. "The reason that it's there is because the stone itself is actually very deep," he reiterated, his admiration for the piece evident in every word. This was not just jewelry, it was a masterclass in gemology and design. "This is court jewelry at the highest possible level by Fabergé," he declared, his voice resonating with the weight of that statement. The moment of truth had arrived. The crowd, now a sea of rapt faces, held its collective breath. The woman who had brought the items, a proxy for her globe-trotting friend, stood with a nervous smile, unaware that her life and her friend's was about to take a remarkable turn. Munn began with the pendant, the enigmatic pink treasure. "This one is an unusual prototype, never seen the like before," he confessed, a rare admission from an expert of his caliber. "I'm going to say £10,000 for this one." A ripple of gasps spread through the onlookers. £10,000 for a piece that had been tucked away, its true worth unknown. But the real showstopper was yet to come.